The tale of the Brown family enthralled a country for more than 10 years. Over time, what started out as a contentious experiment in plural marriage turned into a poisonous web of bitterness, treachery, partiality, and emotional desertion. Once an impartial observer, the camera had turned into a mirror of dysfunction, and millions of people watched as the fissures widened into abysses. However, none of the cast members, executives, or producers could have predicted how it would turn out. And definitely not in this manner. Behind the shadows, in a dark boardroom at TLC's Silver Spring, Maryland, headquarters, it began quietly. The expressions were somber, and the air in the room was still. At the top of the table, Julia Marks, EVP of Network Content, read from a recently written internal note. It was straightforward, definitive, and unchangeable. TLC will end its collaboration with Kody Brown and Robyn Brown and stop producing Sister Wives with immediate effect. This decision comes after a string of extremely concerning on-camera and off-camera behaviors by Mr. Brown that are in direct opposition to the network's principles and goals. Nobody said anything. Despite being brief, the memo was a shock. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. The network had put up with instability for years, denouncing Kody's erratic behavior in private but presenting it as raw and authentic in public. Ratings had always been the top priority. After Kody's most recent public outburst, in which he blatantly blamed his late son Garrison for the family's disintegration and indicated that his death was due to disrespect, however, something had changed. Finally, a line had been crossed. It had been an avalanche of indignation. Everyone from media outlets to former cast members denounced the comments, including fans, veterans organizations, and mental health activists. For the first time, public opinion shifted from curiosity to rage. The response within the Brown home was unsurprisingly disorderly. Clearly unkempt and shaking with anger, Kody Brown made the decision to fight back, not with an apology, but with fire. Late at night, he went on Facebook Live and made venomous charges against TLC, the fan following, and even his own kids. Haggard and hollow-eyed, Robyn sat next to him, her presence more spectral than encouraging. Kody spat at the TV. Without us, this show was nothing. Our lives were sacrificed for these cameras. You want to judge me now? When Garrison was in pain, where were you? Where was TLC? The remarks came in like a torrent. He was referred to as a shame by thousands. Others called for TLC to issue a public apology or file charges. Then the pivotal moment arrived. Robyn's daughter Aurora came out from behind the couch, her voice shaking. "Stop, Dad. This isn't beneficial." The stream stopped suddenly. In a matter of hours, the video went viral. Janelle Brown sat motionless elsewhere, in the peaceful security of her Utah home. Her phone was constantly buzzing with texts from both family and strangers, social media updates, and news alerts. Her son had already been buried. Only a dull, never-ending pain remained. No more tears. It felt like a new type of death to watch Kody take advantage of that suffering on national television. Mary had a brief talk with her over the phone that morning. Mary remarked, "TLC finally pulled the plug. It's finished." Janelle took a while to reply. She surveyed her house, which was still filled with relics from Garrison's past, including his coffee maker, his abandoned woodworking projects in the garage, and the army duffel bag he had never opened. Then, with a serene assurance, she spoke. Years ago is when it should have ended. The fallout, however, was only getting started. Gabriel, Janelle's only surviving son, had been dealing in solitude with loss, remorse, and the stress of witnessing his father's public breakdown. He brought a handwritten statement into the kitchen that morning. He read aloud after asking his mother to listen. The world's response to Janelle and the other kids was one of enormous support. Global trends included hashtags like #JusticeForGarrison, #BoycottKody, and #CancelSisterWives. In an effort to honor Garrison's memory and demand responsibility, several veteran organizations published open letters. The world was no longer buying Kody's version of events, and the narrative he had spent years trying to manage was suddenly out of his grasp. Robyn experienced a further descent into fear in Flagstaff. She had no audience, no revenue, and no platform without TLC. Her aspirations to become the adored matriarch of a family dynasty on television were dashed. She clung to the hope that she and Kody would be the only ones left standing as the other wives vanished, but now it was a sour mockery. Her house was the target of paparazzi. Her grown kids started to distance themselves. Even her fan groups on the internet were silent. In the meantime, Kody raged alone. Once the leader of a vast spiritual empire, he was now completely alone after being publicly denounced by his ex-wives, stripped of his platform, and abandoned by his adult children. Soon after, there were legal issues. According to reports, a number of former crew members were getting ready to complain about him at work for verbally abusing them and fostering a hostile work environment. TLC started cleaning out Sister Wives promos from its archives in an attempt to further isolate itself. But something else started to bloom among the debris. Mary, Janelle, and a female producer who had worked on Sister Wives in its early days met in private in Salt Lake City. Tea and tears were shared as they sat in a little conference room. The proposal was straightforward. A brand new program based on honesty, accountability, and healing, not for attention, but for legacy. On their terms, they consented. Sister Strong would be the name of the new series. There would be a tribute to Garrison's memory in each episode. There would be no Kody Brown, no retakes, no fabricated storylines. Just two women are taking back their lives, helping those who are suffering, and openly sharing their experiences. Robyn was by herself, staring out a window back in Flagstaff. The cameras had vanished. There was silence in the house. Downstairs, Kody was writing frantically in a journal that no one would ever read while muttering to himself. Her expression was unclear as she gazed at a framed picture of the family from happier times. Then she did something nobody saw coming. After packing a bag and bidding her kids farewell, she departed. Robyn Brown left Kody's side without a camera rolling for the first time, though not permanently or just yet. The last chapter of Sister Wives started to come to an end somewhere in the quiet of that departure. And there's more. Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives Season 19, accused Mary Brown, his ex-wife, of being overly attached in the beginning of their marriage. Her reported behavior was cited by the polygamous patriarch as the reason he never showed his wives' affection in public. To be honest, the father of 18 was in a difficult situation. Kody would be accused of partiality, and his other wives would suffer if he were amorous. However, there are also criticisms for not displaying any affection. Finding a balance in polygamy can be challenging. Kody was accustomed to being in situations where he had no choice but to take on 4 wives. It became evident over time that he struggled to handle the intricacies of polygamy. Several of his marriages failed because he was unable to provide his wife with a sense of security in their union. In actuality, Kody's 4 wives, including Mary, divorced him over a period of 14 months. In a recent Sister Wives Season 19 episode, Kody claimed that Mary's controlling conduct compelled him to forbid his wives from showing any kind of public affection. Mary and Kody were wed in 1990. Their nuptials were a lavish event. Their large wedding was attended by family and friends. Although they had both been raised in polygamous households, it was unclear at the time if they would take on more wives. They started straight away since Mary wanted many children, but she was unable to conceive. Kody wed Janelle Brown, his second wife, in 1993. Christine Brown, his third wife, joined the quickly expanding family a year later in 1994. Then, in 2010, Kody wed Robyn Brown, his fourth wife. Mary would deliver him only 1 child out of Kody's 18 offspring. Despite her intense desire, she was never able to have more children. Because she had fewer children, Mary constantly felt that she was being asked to do with less, which she interpreted as a slight. Her sister wives might contend that Mary might not have needed such a large home because she only had 1 child, whereas Janelle and Christine each had 6. It became a subject of contention since both sides had valid claims. Mary is the only wife of Kody who can claim to have divorced him twice. 2014 was the first time. Kody was only legally married to Mary since polygamy is illegal. All of his previous relationships were spiritual in nature. Robyn had 3 children from her previous marriage when he married her in 2010. In order to marry Robyn, Kody asked Mary for a divorce since he wanted to adopt Robyn's kids. Mary consented, but it was heartbreaking. After the adoptions were finalized, She thought Kody would remarry her, but he remained married to Robyn. The Browns talk about how Kody never exhibited love for his wives in Sister Wives season 19, but Kody managed to place the blame on Meri. He clarified that Meri was constantly smitten with him during their early marriage. She would constantly sit on his lap because she couldn't take her hands off of him. According to Kody, Janelle's mother confronted him about it, claiming that she felt uneasy witnessing him show Meri such care. Following that, Kody took care to avoid showing his wife's affection in front of his other wives. Kody claims that the conflict began immediately and that the two did not get along. Kody claimed that immediately following the wedding, he realized his error. He asserts that although they were aware of their incompatibility, neither of them supported divorce. Kody and Meri added spouses because they were determined to keep their marriage intact. He reasoned that he could be obedient to Meri and still seek happiness. Although taking on more wives didn't make their issues go away, it temporarily covered up their incompatibility. Kody began spending less time with Meri after he married Robyn. They eventually said goodbye during Sister Wives season 19 after 32 years of marriage. When Kody said goodbye to his first wife, he started crying. He tells her, "Meri, it's the end of an era," with tears in his eyes. "We had something." She concurs, adding, "We had something really good." His tears would suggest remorse for his failed marriage, but he only needed to ask Meri to stay if he wanted her to. Rather than expressing sorrow, Kody's tears may have been more about relief. Since she broke up with Kody, Meri has prospered. The Sister Wives star got a fantastic makeover, adopted a dog, and embraced her circle of pals. Meri just shared pictures of her new appearance on Instagram. The pictures show Meri looking stunning on the red carpet while sporting a stylish new jagged bob haircut and a small black dress. The caption on Meri's photo says, "It was a pleasure and honor to spend the past 2 days at the Global Beauty Awards," but her expression says, "Eat your heart out, Kody." The death of Garrison Brown is still deeply felt by the Sister Wives family. Janelle Brown is talking candidly about the TLC singer's decision to bury her kid in Wyoming as they attempt to adjust to life without one of their family members. It didn't take long for Janelle and Kody Brown to decide where to bury their cherished son in the most recent Sister Wives episode. The Browns have deep roots in Wyoming, the mother of 6 disclosed. "My mom and Kody's dad are both buried there, and I want to put Garrison next to my mom." The Equality State holds a special place in the hearts of Janelle, Kody, and Garrison. "He was greatly influenced by his experiences," Janelle continued, working on the ranch there for the summer. To support her mother, Maddie Brown also made an appearance on the small screen. "The place feels like home to them, especially after several transfers," according to Janelle's daughter. "Wyoming is probably the closest place we have to roots," Maddie says to the audience. "It's residence." It was simple for Janelle and Kody to choose Garrison's ultimate resting place because they used to go every summer, and it was like, "You went to the ranch to learn how to work." Additionally, I'm like, "Okay, I get that." Kody would reply, "I just want to take him home." Kody was born and raised in Lavelle, Wyoming. In addition, he went to high school there and observed his parents' struggles with polygamy. A handful of the older children were born in Wyoming, where Meri Brown, Janelle Brown, and Christine Brown, his first 3 wives, eventually resided. But in the end, they relocated to Lehi, Utah. We don't know why they moved to Utah, but we do know that Kody enjoys making spontaneous moves across the nation. An estimated 38,000 fundamentalist Mormons are polygamists throughout the state of Utah. Kody and his wife were therefore only a handful of those members. The Browns' decision to go in the middle of the night was a 3rd-degree felony in Utah, despite the fact that bigamy charges are rarely brought against polygamists. Fans were concerned that Kody was being investigated by the local police, as they found out. In Season 1, Kody also mentioned that cohabitation could result in his incarceration. They shared a single house with several rooms at the time. Kody believed that moving to Las Vegas was the safest course of action for his family, despite the fact that years later, the local authorities stated they never had an ongoing investigation. Despite being settled, Kody infuriated nearly everyone when he chose to transfer the whole family to Flagstaff, Arizona, a few years later. In March 2024, Garrison passed away. He was only 25. Fans of Sister Wives soon found out that the cat lover killed himself following a night of drinking and depression. The following morning, Gabriel Brown, Garrison's brother, located him. Garrison died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, according to the Coconino County Medical Examiner's postmortem report, and it was determined that he committed suicide. Garrison also had ethanol intoxication or alcohol poisoning, according to the autopsy. The legal limit in Arizona is 0.08%, but the sister wives' star's blood alcohol content was 0.307%. Anything beyond 0.4% is regarded as possibly lethal. At the time of his passing, Kody and Janelle issued a joint social media statement. It said, "Kody and I regret to inform you of the passing of our lovely son, Robert Garrison Brown. For everyone who knew him, he was a source of joy. We shall be left speechless by the void our loss will create in our lives." To make the heartache even worse, Garrison and Kody never reconciled, so we kindly ask that you respect our privacy and join us in remembering him. The patriarch is now attempting to make amends with himself in the current episode. As the Brown family finally examined Garrison Brown's death, Sister Wives Season 19 confronted one of its most agonizing moments. I'm proud of how they managed their most agonizing feelings. Viewers of Sister Wives have been anxiously awaiting the show's response to Garrison's untimely death during Season 19. Although he passed away in the middle of 2024, Sister Wives had not yet resumed filming at the time and resumed in order to provide the family the opportunity to express their desires in the immediate aftermath of the tragedy. While some were worried that the show wouldn't be able to handle the emotional bandwidth of Janelle, Kody Brown, and the rest of the family taking time to remember Garrison, others were hopeful they'd be able to get some closure surrounding his passing with the family. The series made an impact with Janelle Brown sharing her memories, even if they were painful. Given that Sister Wives had been in existence for most of Garrison's childhood, it seemed only fitting that the cameras would capture Janelle and Kody's challenging responses to losing their son, as long as they were comfortable doing so. While I wasn't sure what to anticipate from Sister Wives when I first heard of Garrison's loss, I was hopeful at the time that the program wouldn't address it. Sister Wives fans made it apparent that they would appreciate choosing not to openly discuss. I hope Janelle, Kody, and the rest of the family could grieve privately and keep the public out of their predicament, since I know how awful and painful it must have been for them. I was hoping that there wouldn't be anything on screen that took the family's grief and used it for TV, even though I knew that the show would probably at least mention Garrison's death. I've been interested in the older children in the family for years, even though I know that Sister Wives' responsibility has always been to share the Brown family's highs and lows. Some have decided to move on once they were old enough to do so, while others have continued to share details of their lives on the show. Garrison consistently made an assured appearance on Sister Wives, even if it was only for a single episode. Openly expressing his emotions, I respected Garrison, so I shouldn't have been shocked to see him honored. I thought viewers would witness some difficult discussions during the episode that started honoring Garrison and discussing what had transpired in the family, but I never thought the family would get into so much. I was astounded by how terrible the family let things go on camera, from Janelle's recollections of the day she learned and the events that followed to Kody's conversation with Robyn about his sentiments around Garrison's death. While the rest of the family held up well throughout the episode, I was most proud of Janelle for sharing her truth on camera. Her unvarnished honesty made for a refreshing, captivating Sister Wives episode that deserves praise from the fans for its depth and emotional vulnerability. It's obvious that Janelle, Garrison's mother, was incredibly proud of her son, and that pride didn't go away simply because he passed away. In addition to sharing her pain, which she obviously hasn't kept to herself, Janelle also shared details about her kid. I am extremely grateful to Janelle for allowing Sister Wives fans to see her Garrison, and for sharing more about their connection than ever before. In a recent Mother's Day video, Sister Wives star Paydon Brown wished all the mothers in his life a happy Mother's Day, but he purposefully left out one mother. Born in North Carolina, Paydon is 26 years old. His parents, Kody and Christine Brown, were married in the early 1990s. Aspen, Michaelty, Paydon, Gwendolyn, Isabel, and Truly were the couple's 6 children, despite their lack of a close relationship. Christine remained supportive of Kody's first 2 marriages, Mary and Janelle Brown, but she found it difficult to relate to Robyn Brown, Kody's 4th wife. Kody abandoned his prior 3 spouses as he became preoccupied with Robyn. Having seen this firsthand as a child, Paedon grew increasingly outspoken as he grew older. He blamed Robyn for upsetting the balance in the household. One of the first wives to publicly criticize Kody was Christine. In 2021, she finally broke up with him after 25 years of dating him. Paedon ridiculed the conflict in the Brown household and wholeheartedly endorsed his mother's choice. He has since separated from the polygamous family, though, as far as I can tell. Although Paedon isn't very active on social media, he didn't pass up the chance to post a humorous Mother's Day video. In a video he shared on his Instagram story, he wished all mothers, aside from one well. In the video, which was posted by @JohnYates327 TV, Paedon playfully stated, "I wish a very, very happy Mother's Day to almost every mother out there, not every single mother." He also joked that there was at least one mother to whom he wouldn't wish a happy Mother's Day, referring to himself as a B*** tea muncher. Paedon wrote in the caption, "I'm not throwing any shade, I just thought it was a funny thing to add." Sister Wives fans implied that Paedon was making fun of Robyn. I doubt it's the first time Paedon has openly expressed his negative feelings towards Robyn, his father's fourth wife. The blogger who posted the video commented, "Paedon wishing happy Mother's Day to everyone sans Robyn." One Instagram user praised Paedon's sense of humor, saying, "I love the level of pettiness." Another user agreed, saying, "It's exactly why we love him." One user thought Paedon's comment was over the top, saying it reminded them of Kody. Since he was a little child, Paedon has seen his father choose Robyn over his previous 3 wives, which has caused tension in their relationship. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.